Well, folks, welcome back to the Logic Speak podcast. I'm your host, Adam Bieber, and I'm super excited to host a very special podcast. For the first time ever, we have two guests in the studio. So even though back there it says Jason Etheridge and Adam Bieber, today it is Adam Bieber with Ashley May and Jacqueline Jensen. Ladies, welcome to the studio.
Thanks so much for having us.
It's exciting.
Yes. So let me do some quick introductions. So Ashley May is the COO here at Logic Speak. She also is our integrator of EOS, which we're going to get to in just a little bit. But Ashley, I've been wanting to figure out a way to get you on here, and I did it. I succeeded. So
You did. You bribed me. It's fine.
I did. There's maybe 14 bottles of wine over there that could be part of the bribe. We'll see. And then Jacqueline, we met through the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce, and you are an EOS Implementer and launched your business a couple of years ago, and you help companies introduce EOS into their habits and into their business. And so, yeah, it's awesome to have you. I've also wanted to get you in here, so it's fun to have you join us.
Yeah, it's great to be here, especially with both of you.
I know. And by the time this comes out, you may actually have a pretty exciting addition because I think maybe folks can tell on camera that you're expecting, which is exciting.
Yes,
and
thank
so
you.
We're super excited for you. So thank you for making the trip over here to the office and for joining us when you're just a couple weeks away from delivering.
Yes, no, I'm excited to be here and thankful for the opportunity.
Yeah. So what we're going to do first is talk a little bit about EOS, just to kind of set the precedence of what EOS is. And Jacqueline, I'm actually going to come to you first because you self-implemented EOS, which is how you learned about it, and then you became an implementer that businesses can hire to help them launch EOS into their business. So would you just tell us kind of a high level, what is EOS for someone listening that has never heard of it?
Yeah. No, thank you for a great introduction there. EOS is the entrepreneurial operating system. So simply put, it is a framework and a way of organizing and harmonizing all the moving parts of a business. So when you think about, where the business is going, what challenges the business is having, people in the organization, dashboards, KPIs, like there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
So this system it's a great framework to help you organize and get alignment.
That's awesome. And why would you say, because there's different ways of doing things, not one way is more perfect than the other. Although we've found a lot of value, I would say, in implementing EOS. And so why do you think EOS resonates with small businesses?
Yeah, I think it's simple, right? Small business is complex. Any business is complex. But EOS simplifies the complexities in an organization.
Yeah, that's good. And last question, what are some of the common problems that EOS helps to solve?
Yeah, so when an implementer is working with an organization, we're helping them become stronger in three main areas. So vision, how do we get that vision out of the owner's head and on paper so that everyone can see it, understand it, and want to be a part of it? Yeah. So that alignment. The second is going to be traction. So oftentimes I hear from owners like, I've told my people, why won't they do what I ask? So this kind of frustration from it. So the traction piece helps instill discipline and accountability so that wherever you go in the organization, you see people executing on that vision. And then lastly is we help build healthy teams. So healthy in the sense that teams are open, honest with each other. They build trust with each other. And so you just enjoy doing business with each other.
That's awesome. Now, several years ago, before I came to Logic Speak, we implemented EOS here. And Ashley, you've been the champion of our implementation and then continuing to instill it into our organization as we've grown a lot. So I'm curious, what was going on here at Logic Speak when EOS first entered the picture, and why were you on board with implementing it?
So we started EOS in 2019, and at that point, Jason had invited a couple other people to be part of the lead team, but there wasn't really a method to the madness. So how we were running it, what we were talking about, what we were meeting about, what we were driving forward was very ambiguous and shifted and changed with sort of what the new shiny thing might be.
Yeah.
And so really it was an opportunity for us to have a system and really that method to the madness. So that's where it started and how we kind of have continued to evolve it over time.
So you probably saw the impact pretty quickly just because of, which I think we've all probably been in meetings that had no structure and you're kind of sitting there being like, what's the point of this? Where are we going? What's the goal here? And so how do you feel like now, almost 7 years in, how has it impacted our company, our culture, and just operations here?
I think there's clarity. I think we have a lot more clarity. I think we all know what the vision is and we know what we're trying to do, and we break it down into the 90-day world of rocks, and we all have that next step. What is that next step? There's owners, there's a schedule, there's a method to the madness, and also there's a clear way to say no.
Ooh, that's good.
And that's not always the easy thing to do, but it's like in light of where we want to go, that we have to say no to this right now.
Yeah. How did it change your leadership just as a leader here at our organization? The structure and alignment it gave you, how have you seen that shift for you personally as a leader here?
It defined it in a lot of ways. I think I'm by my nature, I'm very organized and very very focused in that way.
Yeah.
And not all of my peers are of that sort of mindset. And so I think it has given us a common language that then helps us move things forward together.
Yeah.
So,
Jacqueline, anything you'd add there on just our experience and what you've seen as you've helped other businesses implement EOS?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's so common, the clarity. I love that it gave you the focus and the intentionality of where you're going and how you plan to get there. And then one of the things I love saying to you is that a system like this will carry the weight of hard decisions, right? And as a leader, you have so many hard decisions to make day in and day out. And so when the system is there to kind of help carry that weight, it can feel very helpful, and it builds a lot of confidence in leaders.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
So EOS rocks. We've been using it, not the goal rocks, it like rocks. And I've seen the benefit of it. I can tend to be a little bit scattered and not so much in the lists and details. And so it helps me, it pushes me outside of my comfort zone, but it helps me to show up prepared and to lead when I need to lead, to deliver what I'm required to deliver. There's no ambiguity. There's a ton of clarity, and it just helps a lot. And so the reason you two are here on the podcast together is because through EOS, something started to pop up in different cities, and it's a group called ENRG, which the letters are ENRG, but you say it ENRG. And so Jacqueline, I remember the conversation. I was just thinking about it this morning about when you called me and you were like, hey, there's this thing starting. Do you think Ashley would jump in and be involved? So tell us what ENRG is, and then kind of why you thought Ashley would be the right integrator in an organization to help lead it with you.
Yeah. So simply put, ENRG is an acronym. So ENRG, as you stated, it stands for the Entrepreneurial Network Resource Group.
Awesome.
It started about 4 years ago with a small chapter in Fairhope, Alabama. And now there are over 80 chapters across the United States.
Wow.
And so we launched, I heard about it about March of last year and started thinking that Atlanta could use this community. And through the relationship we had through the Greater North Fulton Chamber, I knew you all ran on EOS. And so before I could launch a chapter, I had to find an integrator. And so because I was familiar with many of your core values here at Logic Speak and this backyard concept, which I'm happy to let you all expand on. I won't pretend to be in your business, but because of that core value that you all had, and I knew it was important to do business in your backyard, I came to you and said, hey, do you think Ashley and I could meet? Because I've heard so many wonderful things.
Yeah.
And do you think she'd be interested in helping run this chapter with me, launching this chapter and running this chapter? So here we are.
I know. And did I tell you what the whole purpose was, or did I just say you should meet with Jacqueline?
I think you just said, hey, you should meet with Jacqueline, which was great. It was super fun.
Yes.
No, we had a great conversation, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's really cool because essentially what they're trying to do is make sure that there's an implementer who lives in EOS, helping businesses, equipping businesses, co-lead, but having an integrator that's in a business that can be like, hey, this is the real world. This is what we're challenged with this week. Here's what the problems we're trying to solve. And it's become far more than just simply a networking group, which I think is really, really neat. So what has been the experience so far? Because we're coming up on a year now, almost, of you guys co-leading this chapter, which, by the way, is the nation's largest energy chapter. Congratulations, ladies. What's been the experience like? Or maybe first walk us through what a meeting looks like, and then y'all just feel free to popcorn in details. But Jacqueline, what does the meeting look like when somebody comes to Energy with you guys once a month?
Yeah. Great question. And so EOS is structured, and one of the pieces in EOS is our 90-minute meeting. So Energy is structured around a 90-minute meeting.
Cool.
So general segue for the first couple minutes. And we're more of I'll back up a little bit. Energy is, we like to say we're about netweaving, not networking.
Cool.
Right? So we're about being in business together. It's for entrepreneurs, integrators, and business leaders. So those in a small to mid-sized business. Who deal with those hard, real challenges day in and day out, and oftentimes, have to keep this facade on as if they have the answer to everything, right? Or they're wearing this mask because they can't really show how challenging business can be. Sometimes they're expected to just have all the answers. And as leaders, we know we don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
And so Energy is a place for those entrepreneurs, those leaders to come together, take their mask off and say, hey, this is hard, and I know there are people who have gone before me who have experienced this, and I would love to hear their experience.
Yeah.
So then quickly going through what the structure of a 90-minute meeting is, quick segue into it. So we just share name and business and personal or professional best, and then we spend about 20 minutes on a tool or some business skill principle that the group wants to hear about. And then we spend 60 minutes of the 90-minute meeting doing what we call IDSing, so issue solving. So identify, discuss, and solve real issues from those leaders who are in the room. And then we do a quick conclude at the end of the meeting to make sure that we hit expectations and it was a valuable use of time for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I walked in on one, and you were at the board just writing down, and I was like, what is happening? And I think I walked into the IDS portion of the meeting. What's that been like, Ashley, to just facilitate that and help real business leaders solve real problems that they're facing?
What's really helpful is it's outside of your organization.
Yeah.
So you can bring real issues, and you absolutely bypass all the politicking of your internal organization and sort of that fishbowl of people knowing things. And so you can bring it to a table and it be very collaborative, very, different people from different industries weighing in, and so different experiences. So it's helpful. And one of the things that's been helpful for me too is being able to get a second set of eyes outside of our world, which can be really helpful. And I think also, because entrepreneurship and leadership in general can be really lonely, it can be really helpful for the other people in the room just to go, yeah, me too. Yeah. That's hard. Like it just, it validates it. It gives you an opportunity to be like, oh, right. This is hard and this is complicated. And if it were easy, it'd already be done, right? And so I think that has been really helpful too in that room.
Yeah. Have you been able to bring, do you bring issues that the team solves?
I'll never tell.
I need someone who's watching this to go to their next meeting. Now, they meet actually every third Friday of the month in Alpharetta. If you're interested, we'll post information in the description of this episode to make sure that if anyone's watching and interested, please go. It's free, by the way.
Yep, it is free.
And you get to meet some incredible ladies, and then they've got a really consistent group that's been showing up, and it just keeps growing. So what are you guys doing to here's what I'll say. There's probably, I want to say 1,000, but that's exaggerating. Maybe 25 different networking things that you could go to, or netweaving things that you could go to every single week. what makes this different in your perspective?
Yeah, I think it's that piece where entrepreneurs and business leaders can come together and take your mask off, as I said, right? It's not a group of individuals who are coming together to trade contact information or necessarily carry on virtual coffees. And there's a wonderful place for that. But this group is about bringing those real challenges that you're facing, those headaches, those things that wake you up at 2 a.m. to a group of other leaders who can share from experience. And I think that's a great perspective you share, Ashley, of kind of getting outside of your world or outside of your fishbowl or outside of your industry and hearing from others. And really so many other principals are industry agnostic. So we can learn from so many others. And, we are fortunate in ENRG that great connections are made and future coffees are had. But that's not necessarily the purpose, right? Yeah. The purpose is let's get in a room and solve some real challenges right now.
Yeah, I actually would just say that it's really not the whole networking piece of it, which is one of the reasons why I like it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not your let's go do all the networking events. To me, I find real value in the fact that we're going to come there and we're going to solve problems, or we're going to help people solve problems.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's more of the collaboration, of which is why I love being part of it.
There's a give back element because you both are very busy, and to take 90 minutes plus drive time out of a busy week, the end of a busy week, once a month is no small task. But what I love is it sounds a lot like our backyard strategy of just showing up and serving the community right where we live, work, and play. And then if something comes from that, great. But really the goal is to serve and to help. And so I love that this has all come together in this way and materialized in the form of an energy group. I'll start saying networking, even though in energy is network, right? So, what has surprised you most about the response you guys have gotten here in Atlanta? Or what's some of the feedback you're hearing from other cities that makes Atlanta a little bit unique?
I think one of the things that made Atlanta unique in launching ties back to a core value of energy, which is abundance minded. I didn't feel like, and I don't think you did either, Ashley, we haven't really talked about it, but I didn't feel like it was either of our responsibilities to decide who was in that room, who belongs in the room, and who doesn't belong in the room.
Oh, wow.
So we took a very abundance-minded approach and welcomed any solarpreneur, small business owner, medium-sized business owner, or leader into the room. And so you get a lot of different perspectives. Because even a solarpreneur can see a challenge from a completely different light than someone who's leading an organization of 40 or 140. And so there's real value that's shared from everyone in the room.
Anything you would add to that?
I also think that because we've made it very EOS pure in our approach, I think it's just given us that system and that framework, so there's consistency and you know what you're getting when you walk in the room.
Yeah.
Which I think helps.
It does help. Even for an extrovert like me who loves walking into lots of rooms, I enjoy knowing what to expect. And so that's got to be helpful for the people that have been coming, and as it continues to grow. What people will experience. Was there a moment for either of you where you were like, this is becoming a little bigger than we expected?
I'll let you go first, Ashley. What do you think?
I think so. We have our meetings once a month, but then there's also a duo meeting. So for all the other chapter leaders. And so I think the first time I joined in Atlanta was the top. I was like, oh, that's amazing.
You're like, it meant something when I found out we were number one.
Yeah, no, it's true. But Jacqueline has invested a lot. And so it's been amazing to see the growth.
I love that. What about you, Jacqueline?
Yeah, I think it's just a reminder that business owners are looking for rooms like this.
Yeah,
right?
That's good.
Like business owners and leaders need this community because, as you said, Ashley, it can feel so lonely as you lead an organization and you're expected to have the answers every day. And really, we're all just here figuring it out.
So we're about to close in on year one. What is your long-term goal, vision, hope for energy in Atlanta? So I'll tell you what I can see. So picture this.
Paint the picture
The
for us,
next
Adam.
EOS, maybe not the next one, but an upcoming EOS conference where you two are on stage doing what you do for your energy chapter for the entire room, because you guys are clearly leading the charge. I could totally see that happening and would be in the crowd cheering you on. I would love that.
Oh, that's good. That's interesting because Energy just took stewardship of the EOS conference that happens in the spring each year. So maybe. But I think just continue to grow and help, entrepreneurs in the Atlanta area. And so as this chapter continues to build out, I see additional chapters launching in different areas of the city.
I love that. That's awesome. And Ashley, anything for you?
I mean, I think it's just continuing down the path that we're on and
Yeah.
being able to, they're to a certain size, right? Like, the smaller, you don't want it to be so large so that people can engage in all the things. And so having additional groups and being more convenient to more people,
Sure.
I think would be great.
Yeah, I think it's what it does is it doesn't just create healthy businesses and healthy business leaders, but it helps elevate the entire community, because now you're taking some of those same principles and you're putting them into practice in how you do everything. And so if we can continue to elevate the community that we're in, like healthy businesses, healthy cultures, healthy communities, that's what we're all about. Like, I know we're sitting here in the Logic Speak studio, and I know from being here that is what we're all about. And I know because I know you that's what you're all about. And so it's just awesome. All right, we're going to close on some rapid fire questions. So we'll go Jacqueline first, and then
Great.
Ashley, you'll
That
go
sounds
first
great.
on the next
Let's
one.
do that.
One word to describe energy.
Intentional.
Collaborative.
Okay, Ashley, biggest misconception about networking.
That you have to go wide.
That it is about filling your funnel before helping others.
That's good. Favorite leadership book lately?
That's such a good one. I'll do a little plug. So EOS, some folks in the community just released a book called Rollout. So
Oh, cool.
I have been in Rollout, and so it talks about how to roll EOS out into an organization versus just, typically an EOS implementer works with the owner and the leadership team. So how do you push EOS through the entire organization?
Love it.
So mine's not recently, but my favorite leadership book is Leaders Worth Following.
That's
my
good.
favorite.
Yeah, that's
So.
really good.
You can be healthy and whole.
We've talked about our LDP program. That was, I think, our first book this past year.
Yeah, it's the foundation that we build out
Yeah.
the whole program.
Yeah,
So
that's so good.
my go-to.
Ashley, best piece of advice for young leaders?
Listen. Listen more than you speak.
It's great. Jacqueline?
You don't have to do it alone. Build a community and ask for help.
I love that. This one you can answer in two ways. Favorite local coffee shop or winery? Jacqueline?
Since we're expecting, we'll go coffee shop right now.
Okay.
So Ground and Pound in Roswell
Love it.
or Just Love Coffee in Alpharetta.
Love that. Yep.
They're both so good.
Those are good. I'll go wineries. Thank you for adjusting. I love coffee too, but my
Yes.
favorite winery is Yona Mountain Winery. But
Yep.
a little bit more close in Dahlonega is Accent Winery.
Oh.
And the winemaker is the same at both.
Love that. Love that. Okay. Here's my last question. It is baseball season. So if Energy had a walk-up song to the plate, what would the walk-up song be?
This one's so tough.
I don't know. Oh, so sorry. I'm not prepared for that one.
You wanna take
I'll-
this one?
I'll go High Hopes
Okay.
by Panic at the Disco.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Ditto.
Ditto.
Ditto that one.
What she said.
Okay, so ladies, where can one? Here's what I'll say. We're gonna put both Ashley and Jacqueline's LinkedIn profiles in the description, so you can reach out to them if you've got questions. But third Friday of every month, where in Alpharetta can people join you guys?
8 a.m. at Serendipity Labs on North Point Parkway.
Perfect. And anybody can come. You guys have that abundance mindset. If you've heard this, you're invited.
Yep. Solopreneur, entrepreneur, business leader.
Yep.
Awesome. Awesome.
Whether you're running on EOS or not, either way.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
Absolutely. Because it does, ENRG is founded in EOS and the Entrepreneurial Leap Academy, which is designed for early stage entrepreneurs. So
Awesome.
those running a business with less than 10 employees. So anyone kind of exploring either of those, new to them, growing on them, running on them, come on and check it out.
That's great. That's awesome. Well, any closing thoughts from either of you before we wrap this up?
It wasn't as painful as I thought it might be. So, woo!
Yes.
Win.
Jacqueline?
No, I'm so grateful for you and for the opportunity to get to know Ashley, and we share our love of wineries and coffees as well as entrepreneurship. So, great relationships. So go find your people.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Jacqueline, thank you so much for being here. Ashley, thanks for joining me in the studio. And folks, thank you for listening or watching this episode. We'll be back with more soon on the Logic Speed podcast. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.